Hello, Simmers. We're back with some more New Jersey Devils Battle Royale franchise mode in Hockey Legacy Manager 25. And in this one, we have the start of year number 11 with your New Jersey Devils. So let's get right into the draft lottery. Of course, you have 4 teams in the draft lottery, and it will be Vancouver, followed up by Washington, Seattle at number 2, and Montreal at number 1. All right, here we go. Time for the draft. Let's get things underway. So let's see who we can take at number 11. Looks like we have an 89 potential in Trottier, Leo Trottier, 69 offensive, 69 defensive. Only 5 points. Actually, this is international, and we have no season report on him, it seems. But still, he does have that 89 potential overall with the green star motivation nonetheless. So I think we got to take him. Leo Trottier, welcome to the New Jersey Devils. He is a 69 overall, 4 green star potential. Round number 2 now, pick number 24. You have an 84 potential overall offensive defenseman in Todd Law, 62 offensive, 58 defensive. Yeah, looks good to me. We'll take Todd Law with this pick. Welcome to the New Jersey Devils. He has a 60 overall, 4 gold star potential. All right, round number 3 now, pick 36. Still quite a few good potentials remaining. There's this guy, Fitzgerald. With the G is a capital, so it's like it's almost like 2 separate last names are being smushed together. Fitzgerald. Kenneth Fitzgerald. He had 50 points last year, 60 offensive grades, 62 defensive. He is 19 though, so I'll keep looking around quickly here before the time runs out. There's Konstantin Ivanins, who is a 87 projected overall with the gold star potential, 51 overall offensive, 53 overall defensive. So it's going to take him a while, it looks like. Then you have Luke Colas. He's a goaltender. I don't know if we need another goaltender, to be honest. So I think we'll take Fitzgerald because he, despite the fact that he is a year older than Ivanins, his stats are much further along, so I think we'll be taking Fitzgerald here. Welcome to the New Jersey Devils, Kenneth Fitzgerald. He is a 61 overall, 3.5 gold star potential. All right, round number 4 now, pick number 48. There's Philip Farrell. He is an 82 projected overall, 58 offensive, 58 defensive, 11 points last year with Sudbury. The goaltender's still there, Colas. We could just take him if all else fails, but I think I'd like to take a skater. Yeah, let's take Philip Farrell with this pick. Welcome to the New Jersey Devils. He is a 58 overall, 4 gold star potential. We're really hitting today, aren't we? This is quite the draft for your New Jersey Devils so far. Round number 5, pick number 60. I think at this point I'll take Ivanins because he is still available as that 87 potential overall. Only 51 offensive, 53 defensive, but that's fine. He looks like he could potentially be a pretty good player, so we'll be taking him. Welcome to the New Jersey Devils. He is a 52 overall, 3.5 gold star potential. Not bad. I think with this pick, we may as well take Fitzpatrick. So another case of 2 names being smashed together there. He's got the 52 overall offensive, 54 defensive as a 2-way forward. So welcome to the New Jersey Devils, Jonathan Fitzpatrick. He is the 53 overall, 3 red star potential. All right, I would say that's the first miss there of this draft, but still overall a very solid draft for your New Jersey Devils as we go into this last pick here. I think we may as well just take one of the highest ranked players, Daniel Pio. He's got the 64 offensive, 60 defensive. As an offensive defenseman, he's got the projected 87 overall, although he does have the dark red star motivation, so he may or may not reach it, but we'll take a gamble here. And he is a 62 overall, 4 dark red star potential. Okay, so that's a really solid draft if you ask me. That's a really solid draft. And even Fitzpatrick, you know, he might surprise us. You never know. So let's go to the contract extensions and see who is up for renewal here. You have Zadorov, Lavage, Pickarainen, Middlestat. Okay, so not too many guys. This really just Zadorov that I have to worry about. He wants 8 years for $9 million effectively. We have cap space of 17.8, and he has very low interest in a short-term deal. So I think I'll give him that 8 years. Looks like I could take him down to 8.445. I mean, yeah, I'd say he's worth that. He had 45 goals last year, decent CF percentage, great faceoff percentage. He had a 57.9 on faceoffs with 485 faceoffs won because I believe he was our first line center last year. So yeah, we're going to get Zadorov re-signed here. 8 years for 8.445, send him that offer. Then you have Lavage, who I don't believe did too well last year. No, he did not. 885 in 20 games played. I think it's going to depend on what he wants. He wants 1 year for 2 mil effectively, and I can get him down to 1.9. You know what? He's shown in the past that he's capable of bouncing back most of the time anyway, so yeah, I'll give him another chance. I'll give him 1 year for 1.9. Pickarainen, he had 5 points in 25 games played last year, and he wants 2.5 for 2 years and a modified no trade clause. And then Middlestat wants a minimum deal. But first, let's just see if Zadorov and Lavage sign. All right, they both signed. So we're up to 95.3 on the salary cap as of right now, and we have 7.5 effectively remaining in cap space. The way things currently are, we have Finley and Lavage in goal. Defense is set, although I would like to sign one of Casey or Karpovic as a 7th defenseman. Then forward, you have 3, 6, 9. Yeah, I think I'll re-sign Pickarainen. I'll give him 1 year though. 1 year for 2.54 with the modified no trade clause. And then I think I'll let Middlestat walk. His CF percentage last year was not very good. He's still good at faceoffs. Still really, really good at faceoffs, in fact. But I kind of want to make room for some younger players in the bottom 6. So I think we'll release Middlestat. And then between Casey and Karpovic, guess it doesn't really matter who we sign here. I guess it's just going to be whoever's cheaper. And I think that's going to be Casey. I'll give him 1 year for 1.17 with the modified no trade clause. Simulated today, we got Pickarainen and Casey locked up. So now I think it's just a matter of getting all of our RFAs, and then I think we're done here. Oh, wow. So after signing all of our RFAs, we only have 1.4 remaining in cap space as we head into July 1st. I mean, I still don't think we really need much. Although I think you also have to consider how Hischier is going to drop, because he did drop quite significantly this past season. He dropped from an 87 straight to an 83, and I'm a bit worried that he's going to drop to like an 80. So he might be our 4th line center this upcoming season is what I'm thinking. So in that case, at least the way it is right now, you would probably have Celebrini, Hischier, and Pickarainen on the 4th line. Then the first line is Hughes, Zadorov, and then either Guskov or Vasilevsky. Barring some rookie who just comes out of nowhere, I think we might need someone to fill in that 3rd line wing right there where Hischier currently is. Unfortunately, we're not going to know for sure until we see the offseason jump. So I think for right now, we're just going to advance straight to the Hall of Fame inductions because 1, we have essentially no cap space right now. And then 2, I also, again, I want to see the offseason jump before I make any definitive decisions. So we'll go up to Hall of Fame inductions and see who is inducted this year. And inducted into Hockey Hall of Fame this year are Sebastian Aho, Artemi Panarin, Igor Shesterkin, and Chris Osgood. All right, here we go. Let's see the offseason jumps. You have Daniel Pio improving to a 71. Ivanins grew to a 60 overall. Hornqvist up to a 76. Luce 69. Fitzgerald up to a 67. Farrell up to a 64. Urban up to a 75. Trottier up to a 73. Fitzpatrick up to a 57. Pickarainen's actually back up to a 84. Casey's up to an 82. Ariamaki, Bergman, Stenlin's up to an 86. Then you have Wasselin actually down to an 85. Yeah, Hischier's down to an 80. I thought so. Okay, so I would say he's our 4th line center this year. Yeah, okay. I think we could use a left winger for the 3rd line. I think that's what we need. Unfortunately, we don't have much cap to work with. Or maybe we could put Guskov or Pickarainen on the left and then move Pickarainen up to the 3rd line. But then that 4th line has a red chemistry with Olofsson, Hischier, and Celebrini. Yeah, I think this is what it's going to come down to because we're not going to be able to afford a 3rd line winger, I don't think. So we're going to have to do Celebrini, Hischier, and then whoever we get out of free agency. Ideally a playmaker. I think we'll sign Ayrton Martino. He's got the 81 overall, 83 passing, 80 defensive categories, 75 discipline. He's not perfect, but you know, we don't really have much flexibility to be picky here. So I think we'll take Ayrton Martino here. All right, here are our lines going into year number 11. You have Hughes, Zadorov, and Vasilevsky on the first line. Then you have Combe, Arsenault, and Homertz, Guskov, Wasselin, and Pickarainen, and then Martino, Hischier, and Celebrini. Scratched is Olofsson, and on defense you have Hughes and Nemetz, Salayev and Singleton, Bergfors and Stenlund, and scratched is Casey. In goal you have Finley and Hovage, and on the power play you have Hughes, Zadorov, Combe, Hughes, and Bergfors, and then Homertz, Wasselin, Vasilevsky, Arsenault, and Nemetz. On the penalty kill you have Hischier, Guskov, Stenlund, and Nemetz, and then Combe, Pickarainen, Salayev, and Hughes. So that being said, let's get underway with the Year 11 simulation. Well, first major injury of the year, Kobe Combe is out with a 1-month injury with a fractured leg. Ooh, Kasper Pikkarainen out for 2 months with a knee injury. Oh, and that's Combe down with an injury for 10 days, so we're going to have to call somebody up here. And I think that'll be Hornqvist. All right, we have finished season 52, 26, and 4. Good enough for first in the league. So we once again have the President's Trophy. Unfortunately, we are going to the playoffs with injuries to Salayev, Stenlund, and Pikkarainen. We are a bit banged up right now, but nothing we can't handle. Let's take a look at the player stats to end the season. In goal, you have Finley in 61 games played with a .918 save percentage, 8 shutouts, and a goal saved above average of 25.64. And then Lavage in 21 games played with a .915 save percentage, rebounding from last season with 1 shutout and a .653 goal saved above average. So very good in goal. Skater-wise, you have Jack Hughes leads the league in points with 109 points on this season. Luke with 75, Zadorov with 75, Vasilevsky with 68, Nemetz with 53, Arsenault and Bergfors each with 51. Then you have Combe with 49, Singleton with 39, Salayev with 36, Holmertz with 31, Stenlund with 27, Waslin with 24, Guskov with 19, Hischer with 12, Celebrini with 11, Pikkarainen with 10, Martino and Olofsson with 9, and then Hornqvist with 2, Casey with nothing in 8 games played. That first line really carries this team, doesn't it? Jack Hughes in particular, who continues to be incredible at 33 years of age. Over 100-point season once again. Hopefully we don't get any more injuries here, as we're going to have to put Bergfors on the top 4 with Singleton. And it looks like we have the St. Louis Blues in the first round of these playoffs. So let's get right to it. Game number 1 underway. And we have a goal right off the bat for Holmertz to make it 1-0. There's 2-1. Zadorov with the unassisted goal, and then Schultz. And now Schmidt makes it 2-2. At the end of the first period, and we are tied, and now Schmidt with another one makes it 3-2 St. Louis. Come on, guys, halfway through the second period, get me that tying goal. And no such thing. We are heading to the third period down by 1. There it is, Nemetz with the goal, makes it 3-3. Come on, guys, 5 minutes remaining. Do we have overtime? Yes, we do. Who's it going to be? And we have a goal by St. Louis. Ali with the goal. Makes it the 4-3 St. Louis victory. 3 stars of the game are Zadorov, Yeko, and Schmidt. So we're down 1-0 to start the series. All right, game number 2 underway. And that's a goal right off the bat for Kuleshov to make it 1-0 St. Louis. All right, there's our first goal of the game. Arsenault with a goal. Come on, guys. Power play for New Jersey. Nothing doing. Another power play for New Jersey. Still nothing doing. Second period now. We're halfway through the second period now. Still no scoring in the period for either team until Schultz gets it on the power play. I keep saying it right before it happens. And we're heading into the third, down by 1. 10 minutes remaining in the third period. On the power play, it looked like it was a long one there as Vasilevsky gets the goal to make it tied at 2. Are we headed to overtime for a second consecutive game? Yes, we are. Power play for New Jersey. Nothing doing. Another power play for New Jersey. Nothing doing. Come on. Stop teasing me like that. And we have a second overtime. Power play for St. Louis. Nothing doing. Another power play for St. Louis. Nothing doing. Oh, man. Another power play for St. Louis. Come on, guys. Yeko with the goal makes it 2-0 in this series. 3 stars of the game. Boysevich, Yeko, and Finley. Finley, he's doing well. He's doing well for the most part, but unfortunately, we could not get a clutch goal there. All right, game number 3. We're down 2-0 in the series now. We can turn this thing around. We have to turn this thing around in this game as Yuri Check with a power play goal. Makes it 1-0 St. Louis. And there's another one. DuPont with the goal. Makes it 2-0 St. Louis. And the second period down by 2 as Schultz with the goal makes it 3. Yep, not looking good. Not looking good. We're needing to come back here in the second half of this game. All right, there's one. Jack Hughes with the goal with his first of the playoffs, but then Schultz gets it right back, makes it 4-1. And we have a kind of a mountain to climb here in the third, as there's Kuleshov with the goal, makes it 5-1. And we are not looking good here. Oh boy. All right, there's a goal for Zadorov on the power play, makes it 5-2, but then 6-2 DuPont on the power play, as that is a 3-0 St. Louis series lead. 3 stars of the game are Schultz, Yeko, and DuPont. All right, game number 4, just go out and play. Pasternak with the goal makes it 1-0 St. Louis, and there's 2 more, Schmidt and Kuleshov. Really not looking good here, as we are now down 4-1 with goals by Ralph and Martino. And that was just in the first period. And there's a goal by Ali, makes it 5-1. Yeah, this is really not looking pretty here. These past two games, as Combe gets the goal on the power play, makes it 5-2. But we're still a ways away there. All right, there's 5-3. Zadorov with the goal. We're down by 2 heading into the third period. Anything could happen. We've come back from worse before. Starts with one game. It's one game at a time. And there's Dupont with the goal, makes it 6-3. 5 minutes remaining. And we have been swept in the first round. That's rough. 3 stars of the game, Ali, Kuleshov, and Dupont. Yeah, that was rough. See the player stats. Finley, unfortunately, did not have a good game 3 or 4. He had an 883 save percentage in 4 games played. Games 1 and 2 were all right. In fact, they were pretty good, but unfortunately, 3 and 4 were not pretty, really, for anybody on this team, as unfortunately, that was just how it went. And skater-wise, you have Zadorov with 5 points. You have Hughes and Combe with 4. Luke with 3. Then you have Nemetz and Vasilevsky, Arsenault and Bergfors with 2. Casey, Martino, Homers, and Singleton with 1. And then Hischer, Wasselin, Palm, Olofsson, Guskov, and Celebrini all with nothing. That was not a good showing, unfortunately. I mean, at least we're still in this thing. We're still in the simulation, but that was not what I imagined this playoff run would be like by any stretch. This was quite a terrible playoffs, in fact. As despite the fact that we have guys like Combe, Arsenault, Zadorov, Vasilevsky, all those guys, Guskov's up to an 87 now. And then Finley, obviously, at 88. He's still, he's 24. He's got plenty of time. However, you do have to consider guys like Luke Hughes, who's 31 now. Nemetz is 31 as well. Jack Hughes, of course, isn't getting any younger. He's 33. He's going to be 34 next year. And obviously, this year showed that he still very much carries this team. So we are going to have to start to transition to guys like Zadorov and Vasilevsky to be our main sources of offense, right? And I think they can do it, especially if we can get them a playmaker anywhere near the caliber of Jack, right? I mean, obviously, Jack's going to start dropping soon. So I think we do need to, I wouldn't say replacement for Jack Hughes, because I don't know how you replace Jack Hughes, but we need to at least know what the plan is going into the future where, Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes, and Nemetz are going to start dropping. And obviously in this simulation where 2 teams get eliminated every year, we got to stay on top of things, right? So I think this is going to be a pretty interesting offseason coming up here. So that, I guess there's not much else to do except simulate up to the awards. And these two right here would have definitely helped in these past playoff runs. Salayev and Stenlund would have definitely helped to have on the back end. I think that is, I'm not going to say the whole reason why we were out, but it definitely did not help. And 2035 Stanley Cup champions are the Montreal Canadiens. They went through Boston, Ottawa, and St. Louis. So the Stanley Cup, of course, goes to the Montreal Canadiens. We won the President's Trophy for a 3rd year in a row, but of course we could not do much in the playoffs, unfortunately. The Hart goes to Jack Hughes with 109 points on the season. The Conn Smythe goes to Montreal's goaltender Tang with the 933 save percentage for Glenn Tang. Then for the Art Ross, you have Jack Hughes. For the Calder, you have Julian of Edmonton, Samuel Julian. 72 points on the season. For the Maurice Richard, you have Tarky of Colorado with 47 goals. For the Ted Lindsay, you have Jack Hughes with 72 assists. For the Selke Trophy, you have Grigorcic for a 3rd year in a row with a 57 CF percentage. For the Bobby Orr Trophy, you have Kel McCarr with 83 points. For the Norris Trophy, you have Luke Hughes for a 3rd year in a row. And for the 4th time in 5 years with a 53.3 CF percentage. The Vezina Trophy goes to Finley for the 2nd time in 3 years. And then the Jack Adams goes to Cooper of Tampa. And retiring this year, yep, there it is. Nico Hischier has officially retired from the NHL. 1,332 games played, 398 goals, 602 assists for exactly 1,000 points. So, I mean, a solid, very solid tenure for Nico Hischier with the New Jersey Devils. Spent his entire career here, and now he rides off with a solid career under his belt. He had 2 Stanley Cups, and then in the playoffs, he had a total of 105 points for us and 144 games played. So, thank you for your service, Nico Hischier. You did us very well, and it seems we're going to need a new captain heading into next season. And then other players who played for us in the past, Marin Studenic, we don't talk about him, and Yannick Kuokkanen have all retired this year. Then you also have David Pasternak, Alexander Barkov, Nico Hischier, of course, Braden Point, Zach Werenski, Jordan Kyrou, Brock Besser, Vince Dunn, Anthony Cirelli, and Drake Batherson. And then with career-ending injuries, you have Ronnie Attard and Calvin Turcoff, who have all retired this year. And eliminated at the end of this season are the Washington Capitals and the Columbus Blue Jackets. So we are now down to 10 teams in the league. So with all that being done, I think that'll be just about it for this one. And I want to thank the channel members for all your support. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next one where we go through year number 12 of this New Jersey Devils Battle Royale franchise mode.